Hello team, John Fay here. We're going to go over project management in this particular video and go over what we need to fill out in each and every project. So to find these projects, you're going to want to click projects and then list, and then in the far right you click the search button, and what I like to do is set up 500 per page. That way it shows all of our projects. To find your particular projects, if you're in a certain department, you can type in your department name and the project in the project name section, and it's going to pull up all the projects for your department. Now, it doesn't have a department specific search in here like it does in a lot of other areas, but all of our projects have to have the name of the department in parentheses at the very end in the name of the project. So that makes it easier for us to find. So for example, outreach. I type in outreach and I see here we get K-12 outreach. I type in finance, it's going to show me all the finance and accounting projects. So let's start with, let's see here, we can do human resources has developed projects really well, only because they've had a little bit more training than other departments. And as soon as everybody else gets a chance to see this video, we'll hope to see everybody else with filled up project information. So what do we fill out? We'll click on the project and take a look. All of these buttons over here are the menu buttons for the project. The first thing you do is click on the information tab and make sure that everything in here is filled out. Okay, so if we don't have a budget, we can put a dollar budget in here. I recommend $10,000 as a budget to start with, is easy math. And I recommend 250 hours as a minimum per project. That averages out to about 5 hours per week for 4 months for one person, which is about the minimum required for one internship. So if this project has only one person, then we'll meet the budgeted number of hours. Objective for this particular one here, this is an employee training, so we're going to put train new staff member on policies and procedures and onboarding. Okay, and then internal notes. This is the project a new hire project. Now, one of the most important things to do is put in here status notes, because that is going to show up on the summary. When we search for all the projects, we're going to look at what is empty in the status notes area, and we want to make sure that if a new project was created, we automatically update the status notes. So all of these areas should be filled in. There should not be any pending projects. As soon as you create a project or copy another project, make sure that you mark it as in progress. Give it a good accurate name. Make sure you put your department in parentheses in the name of the project. Let's see here, what else? For the customer, please select resilience as your customer. Unless you're doing exact specific work for a customer, and mostly customer service is going to be doing that. So for the contact, you can select internal. That's the contact at the customer. This is really just to fill it in so that when we want to, we can do time cards and we can clock in and out. If we don't have a customer, we can't clock in and out. So this gives us the ability to do time tracking for all of our projects, all of our tasks. So that is really kind of the most important basic stuff that we are needing to fill out just to get a project started. Next step, add the people who are going to be working on the project. So there's only going to be one person ultimately responsible for each project, and that person is going to be the project manager, and that person is going to be listed as primary. Okay, there cannot be two primaries, it only allows one, and it cannot be a team. We can't select a team to be the primary person responsible for a project, because ultimately one individual needs to take responsibility for each project. So we're going to mark this as primary. You can put your portal as visible on the portal, that your project. That means that others can see it in customer portals, vendor portals. We'll get to that in another video, but for now, you're welcome to check that. And If you notice on any project that you see a team as primary, please change that. You don't need to be the project manager to update a project. Anybody can fix anything at any time, anywhere in Striven. And that should cover it for now for getting the initial project started and set up. We'll actually dive into milestones. Why not? Right here. We're still at 5 minutes. So each project should have specific milestones. I'm going to switch to a different project to kind of show you what I mean by that. Let's see here. This project here has 3 different milestones. These are more or less 3 different initiatives within the project, and then you would track those with different tasks within that milestone. So a project has 2 things. It has milestones and it has tasks. Here's where you add your milestones with this button here. You would add the milestone, and you would also assign it to a specific person. You can see that Google Drive Access Cleanup is assigned to Aggie, and she's taking care of that. And then any tasks within that milestone can be assigned to multiple people. Ultimately, we want a project only assigned to one person as the primary person responsible, as well as milestones. One person is responsible. You can have multiple people working on tasks. So for example, this right here, if Aggie needs a little bit of help with cleaning up access to the groups, we can add people to this. So I'll add my own name to this, and we will work together on this particular task. But ultimately, one person is responsible for each milestone in each project. So one important thing to realize is that all of your tasks need to be in Striven, and if you don't have a task in Striven, then it's basically appearing that you don't have any tasks, that you're not doing any work. And that's not true for any of our staff. We know that sometimes it's just not in Striven, but we've got to make sure that we adopt the policy that if it's not in Striven, it's not happening. And we've got to make sure that we put everything in Striven. So we've got our people in here. We've got our milestones. Within our milestones, we add tasks. So I'll show you how the project looks now that we've got a few basics in here. We've got our milestones and our people. There's 3 ways to view this project. And I'll close out of the milestone section here. There's the milestone view that is listing everything vertically, up and down. There is the project board view that lists everything horizontally. Horizontally. And you move from left to right, horizontally, as opposed to vertically, up and down. Or there's the Gantt chart view. So you're going to list all of your tasks on the left and your dates from left to right, and Striven does it automatically for you. So you can see where you can scroll to the right. I don't want to mess up her project here, but you can see that the Gantt chart is representing the tasks and the dates of when they start and when they stop. So that's a good representation of deadlines. So again, 3 ways to view your project. It's the same project, just viewed in 3 different ways. The Gantt chart view that has the tasks and the dates. The project board view, the same tasks, just in a drag and drop fashion. And you can customize your board, your project board. You click on this button here, hit customize board, and you can change the colors and you can change the titles. Every project is going to start off with just 2 columns, and you can add columns. So you can see here that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns in here. I don't want to change anything on this one, but you can see here they're represented right here. So you can customize your project. So those are the 3 views, and we'll go back here. And again, you've got 3 milestones. Within those milestones are tasks. Here is where you add your tasks. So if I want to do a new random task, I hit enter, and it's going to create that task. When I click on this, it's going to open that task. And then when I click on this face, the picture, it's going to go down. If I need to reassign or add an assignee to that task, I can do that. So I'm going to add Aggie to this, and then just she'll get a notification that she's been added to this task. And that's a phenomenal tool where I don't have to call her, email her, or set up a meeting. I can just communicate here in the task, write, this is just a test task to show off how tasks work. And down here, I can chat. I have a little discussion area. Now, when I add a message to the discussion, Aggie will be notified through email that there's a new discussion inside the task that she's been assigned to. I can also add other people to this discussion by hitting the @ sign. It's going to pull up the full staff directory, and then I can message other people as well. So let me just message to Danielle because she knows that I'm just testing. And it won't work until we hit the green button. And right now my recording mechanism is in the way. There we go. Okay, so now the message is sent and I've got a discussion in place. I can come up here to see all of my discussions. Now I want to stay within project management and not get too far out of it, but if you ever need to update any discussion with anybody, you can go right to this button up here, go to your discussions. It's right next to the buzz post announcements. Buzz posts are announcements to large groups, and chat is really either one-to-one or with just a few people. So back to projects. That pretty much covers some of the main things that we need to see. But again, reminder here is that add a customer, add it as resilience as the customer to your project. Make sure that one person is responsible and not a team. Make sure that the division is selected properly, the promise date is filled in. If you don't have a completion date for your project because it's going to be in perpetuity, then please put 12/31/2022. So that is the last day of the year. This project will be reviewed at the last day of the year, and it'll either be completed and closed or cloned and set up another one for next year. So, and there are certain projects that absolutely have deadlines that need to be entered here. So status, make sure that they are in progress, not pending, and then please put status notes. And that's about it for now. We should be all set. Feel free to ask me or your department director or your project manager if you have any questions about this and how to set up and manage your project.